is exposed, he will not go down by himself, to put it briefly.
Exactly.
A ton of people will have to go with him, and we will find that the root, as you have stated, of Obama's rise and his present maniacal presidency can be traced all the way back to John Kennedy, or the beginning of the founding of the CIA as an operation in the affairs of America, both domestic and foreign. So people are saying, well, for the interest of the nation, let's not do this because we can't stand such an upheaval in our government. This is beyond revolution, some people are saying.
That's exactly it. I mean, Obama would be the first domino in a series of dominoes that would just basically uproot America, because we've been lied to, crimes have been committed that would just be appalling to the people, and the credibility of the United States worldwide would be lost.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. This is getting around, and your hypotheses are correct. But you know, Dave, I believe that we can sustain the revolutionary disruption of our government with that domino falling and others falling as well. I believe that we can sustain that. But the other thing is true. If we don't, we're going to be destroyed anyway, because he's in the process. So, I mean, I would rather go down fighting rather than just sit here and be destroyed without any possibility of recovery. Would not you agree with that?
I totally agree with that. I think we're in a catch-22 situation, and the power brokers and the influencers in America, the Glenn Becks and the Bill O'Reillys and all these other media types, they know the truth, and the reason that they're continuing to play the game is because they know they can just delay the pain by continuing to perpetuate the lies. If the truth comes out, the pain begins immediately. But I'm like you. I would rather have the truth and start the rebuilding process rather than this slow erosion that's going to take place over a number of months or even years.
You witnessed that you served as the mayor of a city in New Mexico, Clovis, I believe, is the city you were once the mayor of, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
You did a great job as the foreman of the jury. You witnessed the trial. You were here for the seating of the jury, and you brought back the verdict. I was greatly impressed with the verdict of the jury, and with the credibility and fidelity of the witnesses. I thought it was a tremendous moment in our history to see that trial take place. But I would like to ask you, after having been such a witness, where do you see this nation going? Do you think they will respond now that this information has been made public? And I purposely waited a while, that before we release the transcripts. What is your estimation of how the American people will respond, and what would be your suggestion on how to get the best positive response from the American people regarding the information that's contained in this transcript?
That's a very tough question. I have hope that the truth will come out, but what I believe to be true is that most people don't really want the truth. They're content with their daily lives, and unless a disaster occurs in their personal life, then they're not really going to change what they're doing. People are hung up on sports, they're hung up on entertainment, they're hung up on every type of distractive activity you can come up with, but they're not paying attention to the necessary things that are going to preserve our liberty. And until they suffer some pain, they're not going to wake up. America is asleep at the wheel, and we're going down the road headed for a crash of some type. And unless the people wake up, and I don't know what can do that other than a spirit of repentance. I've come to the spiritual conclusion that the only hope is that America repents. That really is the only recipe for the survival of liberty. There's no other recipe out there. There's no government policy. There's no leader who's standing out there in the wings waiting to become a governor or a congressman or a senator or somebody like that. It's an uphill battle like none other. The media is against the truth. Government officials are against the truth. People are basically considered to be stupid. I mean, I was in government for 12 years, and I know how government people think. They think that if you're a citizen and you have a question or a concern, you're just an idiot, okay? And now that I've gotten out of government, I can see how government corrupts the judgment and the mind of those who are involved in it, whether they're an elected official or whether they're a bureaucrat. They just think of the citizen as a problem, not as some virtuous individual within their country. They don't think of them that way. They're a problem.
Well, you know, a number, and your estimation is absolutely correct. I have found over the last year, well, more, I suppose, over the last couple of months, that since the trial, people are really placing their hope in the salvation of this nation in something that cannot save, which is the November election. I mean, people are running around and thinking that somehow or another this nation will be put back on track. In fact, they are using those terms. And a large number of the people that they're praying and hoping to be the catalyst of this are people who don't even acknowledge God. We can't proceed without God. And I got to tell you, I've had some meetings since the trial. I'm continuing to meet with people to form yet another coalition to bring God back front and center in a way in which I think the American people cannot deny or the presence of the Lord. But once we get past November 2nd, I think we can begin to talk to people. But right now, the media, as you stated, they are promoting the lies. They understand the truth. They have been exposed to it. And yet, they are leading people down the primrose path. We're all going to go off the cliff if we continue to follow them. But November 2nd is not the answer, is what I want to try to say.
It's not, and you're exactly right about that. I see it every day. You know, people are so excited they want to raise money for this campaign and that, and I've contributed to campaigns, and you know, I support change away from those who have been in office. I don't care what political party they are. If they've been in office, it's time for a change. But nonetheless, I've just resolved that, you know, we've got to have a nation that's willing to repent and get back to the truth with, like you said many times before, with, you know, the Bible in one hand and the Constitution in the other. And until that happens, we're going to continue to erode spiritually, ethically, and morally as a nation. And liberty cannot exist in any form or fashion unless the character of the people is virtuous. If we're a people of the people, by the people, and for the people, and that's our form of government, then if we're a nation of people who are wallowing in immoral and unethical and corrupt behavior, then that's the kind of government we're going to have. I mean, it's just going to be that way. And if we want good, honest, fair, just government, then the people have to be good, honest, fair, and just. And we've lost that. We've lost that understanding, and we've got to get it back. And the only way to get it back is to go back to the roots of this nation, and that is the virtues taught in the scriptures of the Holy Bible, and that's found in the Ten Commandments, and there's no other solution. There's just not.
I thank you so very much for calling in today. It's really good to hear your voice and to reunite with you and fellowship. Let's continue to pray. I'm confident that we're going to prevail. We're going to get God-centered back in the center of this nation. I've got another call on the line that's been waiting, and I think I would like to have that input as well. But thank you for calling in today. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
All right. Hello, caller. Can you raise up the next call? Hello, caller.
Hello, Pastor. This is Walt again.
Walt.
I called the ACLU about Lieutenant Commander Walter Fitzpatrick.
Right.
And they pretty much gave me the runaround. They said that there's really nothing that, unless he himself or his representative gets a hold of them, there's really nothing they can do about it.
Thank you for making that call. And thank you.
Okay, you're very welcome. I just wanted to let you know I did call the governor's office. I was the first call that they've gotten about it. So I told her, expect some more.
Okay.
But, okay, thank you very much, Pastor. I just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
Thank you very much, Walt. Listen,
God bless you.
Let me state now that, of course, the transcript is now on our website at outlaw.org. We made it privileged to some others earlier. It's there in totality. It is our plan also to bring the history of the subpoenas, the certification of the serving of subpoenas, and all of the ancillary evidence that would be supporting of the transcript. And we believe that people can now make their own judgments about what took place at the trial and how to proceed. The next item is, of course, will be the sentencing. And we will have to put together a committee that would make the decision regarding the sentencing. But as Captain Turner has read, constitutionally our privileges and rights to have conducted a trial, which we wanted to at least today establish that we had judicial authority and have always possessed that authority from the Declaration of Independence, and that a recent comment has been made both on the status of natural-born citizen and also regarding our judicial authority to conduct such a trial. Now that we've established that, and I don't think people are going to argue with that, it doesn't make sense to do so. What would you argue? That the trial was not judicially approved of by the Constitution. But beyond that, we now want to move to the next phase of this trial, which would be the sentencing of Mr. Obama. And let me quickly state that while we have been assured that copies of the transcript has been delivered to the Joint Chiefs of Staff and that they have been made aware but have taken no action since June of this year regarding this trial, but they all are aware and have copies in their possession at present. I want to caution all that no action will be taken regarding Mr. Obama or his illegal presidency as a result of this transcript without the constitutional approval of anything that is being done or said. I'm going to come back to that in just a moment. I have a caller on the line that I want to entertain, and I'll go back to the sentencing phase of this discussion after we've taken calls and questions. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, Reverend Manning. Victoria in Richmond, Virginia.
Hi, Victoria. How are you?
I'm fine. You and Neil have done an excellent job. Most impressive. I'm following this, of course. I'll do anything that I'm asked to do. We would like to see this come to fruition as quick as possible. I think that the wheels are coming off of the bus, and I hope that's real soon.
Well, I pray that it is. I have hopes and belief that it will happen. I just don't know how soon. I don't think it's going to be much longer. And I pray that the release of this transcript today will be a catalyst to make it sooner than soon.
Well, I hope so, because I don't know, this country is becoming very frustrated. People are impatient and waiting, and we're tired of seeing the damage done to this country and the way he treats it.
Well, I think most Americans recognize that he is destroying this country racially, economically. He is destroying the potential of this country rather, to do great things in the future. That he has taken this country down a path that it will take us some time to turn around. And I think most people realize that. They may not be able to put it in those terms, but in their heart of hearts, they know that something has gone grievously wrong with this man who ran on a profile of lies and promises that he never intended to keep. And because the American people are good people, really good people, of all the people of the earth, they believed him. They believed him, and they're so disappointed and hurt now. It will take a stage or two more, which may take a week or two more, for people to come to the point where they recognize that something must be done, that we might regain our country and give it back to our children and our grandchildren. So I have faith that the American people will do that.